conceptual, philosophical situation is what's coming now. You guys have come here in the worst time of the year, really. It's hot in the summer and there's no seams biting you and all that, but here pipes are freezing, you're freezing your ass off. You're going to work when it's, you know, cement mixers are freezing and all that. So if you all are still all here, I don't think there was any dropouts, was there?
No.
Then you're crazy. You're a bunch of sickos, and but the thing is, let me tell you what you've done and what you've seen from my eyes. The Canyon people. That was a building that, when I first got out of college, I got here and built it. Didn't really know what I was doing in terms of any of this. I mean, it's a structurally sound building. It's not going to fall down. I mean, I was trained as an architect, for Christ's sake, even though they took my license. But I was trying out all the stuff that we sort of know now. And so what you're there is, the thing I want to point out is that you guys, your gas went down. You were freezing. You couldn't even stay there. You had to come to the high. When you have to come to the high for refuge, you know you're So, you all, that's exactly a microism or whatever you call it of what we're dealing with. If gas goes down, you're in deep shit, and you're going to go to a place that's already in deep shit looking for refuge. But compare that to, and it's not perfect, the Simple Survival guys, you know, there's a couple of codgers here, you know, and they're in the lap of luxury compared to you in a building that if the gas was working, you'd be fine. But once the gas goes out, you're totally in deep shit. So, and then compare that to the place where a lot of you have been working, the Global. I mean, you go there and you have to strip down to a t-shirt, even though it's been 15 below the night before. That's the building. So what you're getting to see is what we have been through for 40 years, and you're getting a short version of it. You know, like when I used to live in the Canyon building. I didn't have a gas heater in there. I had my experimental solar heating system. So what I'm saying is, it's good for you all to have toughed it out through all of this, because we've toughed it out for 40 years. My heart bleeds for you. But compare it to the Simple Survival, which is, there's 15 grand in that building, you know. And they're surviving, you know. They've got a lukewarm shower, which will be made, if we insulate that shower package, it'll even be better. They've got 60 degrees. If we did another coat of plastic on the inner wall, it'd be 65. And if you were there and opened the door during the daytime, you'd make 67. Does that help a little?
67.
Yeah, exactly. So, see, I know what I'm talking about. So, 67 is reasonable for everybody on the planet. If it could mean we don't need coal-fired power plants or nuclear power plants or whatever. But it's important, I think, and you can call this a line of shit for sure, but it's important for you to see that when your gas goes off, you go down. You can't even stay there. Well, when the gas goes off in New Jersey, which it did from the hurricane, look at that. We're not holding any punches here. We're just saying we're dealing with a lot of old buildings that don't need to be torn down, that can be retrofitted, basically. And we're trying to retrofit them. And then another thing that I think was great that you all got to experience, what I'm saying here is, you guys came at the worst time of the year, but you got a good look at the reality. Now, if you can handle it, fine. If you can't, fine. This is not a cushy situation by any means. I mean, we go to places and we freeze our asses off, and we get, you know, cobras 10 feet out from the job site and whatever. 10-foot cobras 10 feet out from the job site. So you came here, and this place was a disaster area. And it happens to be worse this winter than ever before, because this was the worst winter we've had in terms of temperatures for 8 or 10 years. And finally things get bad enough, just like they are on the planet. Things get bad enough and you say, we have got to do something. So I dropped everything. You know, I hardly ever, you guys have seen me more than the intern groups for the last 5 years have seen me. The reason is, we had a disaster here. And we had to come up here with some good people and you, and bang out a kitchen, which is, you know, Iron Chef would be fine with this kitchen. It's fine. You know, it's in the sun, look at the view, it's fantastic. So, compared to have here. And so, that's what, so you know, in case you didn't get the overall picture, maybe I told you, maybe I didn't. This building, we acquired it because the bank asked us to take it out because they didn't know what to do with it and they foreclosed on it. So we got it for a joke amount of money. And I think I told you, I saw $4 million go into this building. Because we were the builders, we were the architects and builders, and the guy was an idiot, but it was his money and he was telling us what he wanted. We were telling him that won't work, but we went ahead and did it. So I saw on the books $4 million go into this building. The guy went bankrupt and the bank asked me to buy it. Please take it off our hands for $265 grand. So what am I going to say? No? But I didn't have $265 grand. I don't have that laying around. So they said, we'll give you a loan. We'll do it. So you know, we got a loan, we got a payment, whatever. So we have to do something to make it pay for itself, and it's working. But we have to retrofit this building and make it worth something. Well, that's another microcosm or whatever. We are inheriting an earth that we have to do something about. And so for us, this is training. This is you know,
How to make it work.
yeah, exactly. This is, so yes, I had to get to work for a week there. I had to come here with not knowing what the hell I was going to do. But I did lay awake all night and say, I'm going to get that unsanitary, freezing, smelly kitchen moved. And where should I move it? Where I know the pipes won't freeze. And where it's going to be a nice situation. And you know, this was designed as a yoga room. Well, screw yoga, you know. This is where people eat and hang out, and this, we made it. You guys made it. You guys were all up here, and you saw us in reality. This is what happens when we go to Guatemala. This is what happens when we go to Andaman Islands. We don't know what we're doing. We have to make a kitchen, or we have to make a building, or whatever. And I'm like, going around, getting people started on stuff that I don't even know what they're going to run into, you know. But let's try this, let's do that. I didn't know the layout of the kitchen, I didn't know anything. But I had some good people from our crew, and I had you guys, and you guys all hung in there, you've come here to do this, but you guys were all on it. And our crew is always on it. You know, they're up for whatever the challenge is, and it was a challenge. And look at us now, we have a pretty decent kitchen, living, dining here for future interns. And you all got to enjoy it, and you get to enjoy it for another week and a half or so more. And so you got what I'm trying to tell you is you got a reality project. There's no hypothetical with this reality project. It was a reality project. We were desperate, we needed a kitchen that would work. We are having some of you live in a building that is 35 years old and doesn't work unless there's gas. But about that building, that was the first building where we used cans. It was, if you notice, they're not aluminum cans, they're steel cans, which they quit making before you guys were born. But we made, that shows how long we've been doing this. So all that building really is a building that shows that you can use aluminum cans and bottles to build with. It had a funky old greenhouse on it that we tore off and put another one on. It's not, those walls, all they are is steel cans with 2 inches of blue board between them. The R factor on 2 inches of blue board is like 3.5 or something. Maybe it's 7, I forget what it is. We put R40 in the walls now, and still we have thermal mass. So no wonder that building is cold. We're gonna go back with interns and insulate. We're gonna make that building function. Because it's a fortress of concrete post and beam. No way we're gonna tear it down. We're gonna make that building function. We're gonna make this building function. It's gonna teach us stuff. I don't know if any of you or all of you have been to Reach or not, but too bad. Try to get somebody to get you up there. Reach is a better version of everything than this and Canyon, but it still doesn't work like the Global or the Simple Survival. To me, the Global does work a little better than the Simple Survival, only because the Simple Survival's not got all of its goodies yet. It doesn't have a double layer of plastic on that inner wall, and there's not an operability situation there yet. But the Global and the Simple Survival are really the same on thermal performance, but the Simple Survival costs 15 grand. You know, that Global over there, I couldn't sell it. If I sold it for less than 250 grand, I'd lose money. So that's the difference. So what we're dealing with is performance, but also trying to make the economics work to the point where it's viable for people like you and me and us. And the reason we came up with the Simple Survival is because it really happened over a long period of time, but they asked us to go to Haiti because we knew how to do stuff. Well, we're going to take a $300,000 global model Earthship to Haiti. Those people, they wouldn't even know what to do with it. They wouldn't even, yeah, it works good. And it does. You're in there in your t-shirts and your cut-off sleeves working in the sub-zero weather, but it is good. And if you can afford a $300,000 mortgage, and a lot of people can, really only 13% of the people on the planet can, but if you can, that's great. So we have to have a foot in that world of economics and of current reality for the developed world. And again, I say that only means 13% of the people on the planet, because the other 87% can't even think about a mortgage. I mean, I'm going to see some people in Brazil pretty soon. We're going to do a project where you land in Rio and you drive 3.5 hours, and we do a project up in the jungle. And then I'm going on another 2-hour plane trip and a 14-hour drive to a village of real people. And they invited me to come there and stay the rest of my life, which I might do. Asked me to go there, and they think they're going to learn something from me, and they are, because they have been there for centuries and they've never had any problems. Well, now they've got one major problem. They got a garbage problem, because they have bottles and cans and plastic bottles being delivered to them, and they don't know what to do with all this garbage. All of a sudden they got a garbage problem. They want me to show them how to deal with the garbage, and of course I will, and show them some other things too. But the real truth is I'm going to learn something by going there. And I'm learning something by dealing with this kitchen issue here. I'm learning something by dealing with the fact that you guys ran out of gas and couldn't even stay there. I'm getting points and realities driven home to me that that's the way the world is. The minute the gas cuts off in this world, nobody has a life. You guys didn't have a life. You couldn't even function there. And that's the way it is in New Jersey right now. There's still people that don't have a pot to piss in there, and no electricity and whatever. And this is in the U.S. There are thousands of people still in New Jersey that don't have a life because of that hurricane, and it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. So how many people are not going to have a life in the future? So why shouldn't our intern program and our academy put you out there in the reality of it? Because we're there, I mean, there's lots of people on our staff that were experiencing the same kinds of things. But the thing that we can cling to is the fact that we do have something to show for 40 years of work, and that is that these guys were staying there I mean, actually, when I saw you, I was pulling out to come work on the kitchen and figure that out, and I saw you all pulling in. Oh no, these guys are gonna give me some shit. They're freezing their ass off or something. And you roll down the window and you say, we're enjoying living in the Simple Survival. I thought I was gonna start crying. I mean, it will keep you alive. And it is a building that won't fall down in an earthquake, and it costs 15 grand. So that's the thing. Our crew went to Haiti, was asked to go to Haiti, and here I am like, oh, thrilling, we get to go to Haiti. We had to pay we had to fund the whole thing ourselves. They just asked us to come and help out. Then I went, well, what can we do in Haiti? We build global model airships. We can't really do any good for these people. So I had to really fry my brain. So I just decided just to go down there. I took a couple guys, Mike Ballasone and Brian, which I don't know if you all met. And we went down there with the film guy, Paul. And we were just going to go for a recon. We have a little movie of this. I don't know if you've seen it. Somebody should show it to you.
I'll be wired.
No, this is Haiti. Haiti 1 and 2. We get Kirsten to show it to you. It's worth it. Because we went down there just to recon and see, can we possibly do anything for these people? Here we build, yeah, we're the best in sustainability. We make buildings that heat and cool themselves and catch water and make their own electricity, treat their own sewage. We're fantastic. We're hot shit. Well, what can we do for Haiti? Nothing. That's what I thought. So we go to Haiti just to recon and check out the situation. And one thing led to another. The day before we left, some NGO contacts me and says, hey, I hear you guys are coming to Haiti. You know, we got tools and we got land. You want to check us out and see if you can do something on our land, blah, blah, blah. Some other crazy woman kept calling me on the phone from Haiti. And she wouldn't stop talking. And I finally just quit talking to her. But she's a go-getter. She's a person that's half Canadian and half Haitian. So we get down there, and she and the NGO guy meet us at the airport, haul us to the NGO compound. They say, here's land. She says, I've got contact with people in the tent cities that are, 14 people in a tent the size of this table practically. And I can get you some tires and blah, blah, blah. Within an hour and a half after we landed in Port-au-Prince, we were building a building. And, we're building a building, okay, let's do it. And I still had my arm in a cast from rotator cuff surgery, and Mike Ballasone and Brian, big, burly guys, hardcore, got the shits and vomiting, and we're just literally dying. Marita, the woman from there, brought us 25 people from the tent camps, and so while they're shitting and vomiting, we're putting up the building with the Haitian people. And anyway, we end up with a building. And we went back and did another hit, and we raised money and did fundraisers and whatever. Again, you should see this video. You should make Kirsten or Tiffany or somebody get you this video.
Remind me and I'll get you the video.
It's only 20 minutes long. And the bottom line is it's a building. It had a flush toilet, a shower, and a courtyard and a room. And so 9 of us went down to finish it. And we were down there, and when we got done, we were hanging out in the courtyard, using the toilet, taking a shower, drinking beer, banana leaves hanging into the courtyard, and the NGO people were so psyched to have a flush toilet because they had a couple of compost toilets that were funded by, does anybody know who the show Medium on TV? What's her name? Arquette. Tricia Arquette. She's funding a bunch of compost toilets down there, and they got her picture on the side of the wall of the compost toilets.
Which we all aspire
And you go in there, and you lift up the lid, and everything that's in there is so packed in it comes up at you. So you basically have to squat on the toilet seat and take a crap and then shove it down in there with the lid. No wonder people have,
Dysentery?
No, the worst one that you die from.
Cholera.
Cholera. And as a matter of fact, an architect in this NGO got cholera, and just got over it while we were there. And you get over cholera if you get it in time. But anyway, they had compost toilets in these NGOs. They had 30 or so interns at their NGO. And, they're used to using these compost toilets that are just a joke, and people are still waiting to use them. So we get our little flush toilet going, our bucket flush toilet, just like you all got. As a matter of fact, your all's was inspired by the Haiti experience. NGO people were waiting in line to use this toilet. I mean, I took a girl over there and said, this is what we've just done. She dropped her laundry and took a crap right there. I mean, it was that serious how these people were dealing with human waste. And so, anyway, we get done. We're drinking a few beers the last couple of days. We got done early, and we funded it ourselves. And all of the guys on our crew are going like, damn, this place is nice. I'd live here. And then, so we're all impressed with that. But then we started talking, wait a second, that one cost $7 or $8 grand. This cost $7 or $8 grand in 14 days. Whoa, and we live here. And all of us, me included, have mortgages and have been working for years on our houses and, to make them conventional or whatever. This has a flush toilet, it has a shower, it has a comfortable space, it has a courtyard, it has privacy. And it's $7 grand in 14 days. We want this life. We were all saying, we want this life. And yeah, we come back here and, the world and the regulations and everything and the bank loans and everything require you to have a $200,000 or $300,000.
Hey, but on that note, Mike, I don't want to sidetrack you, but do you remember the conversation I had with you when you guys were on your layover, on your way home from that?
What?
It was January here. Our governor issued a state of emergency for Taos because we had gotten below 18 degrees, colder than it is now. And they were moving the elderly in single-family units into hotels because our gas got shut off from Texas. The pipeline to northern New Mexico runs from Texas.
Okay.
And so nobody had heating.
And
They shut our town off. And people were gonna die. And so we have a friend who works at K-Tow, Patty Mack, he's the DJ, and we contacted him and I contacted Mike when he landed in Dallas and I said, can we open up all of our rentals? And Mike said, open them up. So he's on his way home from a third world country where they're dealing with disaster and they just built an amazing house where they're all chilling at this point. And in his hometown, our town was shut down and it was a state of emergency. It was a code red state of emergency. Elderly were gonna die. The state made our town open their hotel rooms and put on backup generators to receive everyone who was shut off by New Mexico propane, which runs from Texas. So we took all of our displays down, we opened every single rental unit that we had because we still were holding 70 to 75 degrees in our houses and these people were gonna die. They were evacuating people from our town on his way back from a third world country to where our head.
Well, that's what showed us that what are the, it made us think. First of all, what are the barriers? Why can't people have a home in this country? They can't have a home, one, because of all the codes and regulations, but two, because of their own blocks in their minds and hearts. I have to have this and that and this. I have to have 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. I have to have, I have to have. Well, we saw, damn, we were really thrilled with the life that we had there for a couple of days when we got to hang out in the place. It was a life, and it shows me, a point I want to make that I want you all to understand is, yeah, there's a lot of technology, and yeah, there's a lot of rules and regulations that make it hard, but there's also the way people think in their minds, and that's why I was like, I'm blown away with you guys. You're not kids. You guys are here doing this, and actually stopped me and said we're enjoying living in the simple survival. And it will keep you alive in a Siberian winter, you know. And so the simple survival move, that as a result of that Haiti experience, we built that building and we're putting out drawings for it. And you know, here we still get people that say, oh, I love the simple survival idea and the drawings and everything. Can you put a kitchen and a flat screen TV? Can you know, do all this shit? And I'm like, you know, it's all I can do to keep from killing them. And so it's like we have text that we're editing and trying to get it down to a reasonable amount of text to explain to people, here's what you're having with the simple survival. You know, you all can tell better than anybody what you're having at the simple survival. And you are alive, you do have a smile on your face, you don't stink, so you must be taking a shower. You know, I think you're using the toilet, I think it's working for you. It's sure, it's not like, you know, the lap of luxury, but then again, what's the lap of luxury when your gas goes off? I mean, you all got a nice situation there, as long as the gas is on, as long as the electricity's on. Say the electricity and the gas go off, you can't even, you just need to go somewhere else, you know, which you did. So that's the world, that's what we're doing, that's what we're living with. And whereas I'm saying you all got a glimpse of the hardest times here in Taos, New Mexico, with all these cold temperatures and you know, and buildings, some of which work and some of which don't, you got to see what is really going on. And if we had a whole very, very simple, set up, luxurious situation for you, you wouldn't get to see that. And the reason I'm saying I want you to see it is because I'm seeing it all the time. You know, we are constantly putting ourselves in a situation where we don't know what we're doing, and we're trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And we did here. All of you all did. We pulled a rabbit out of a hat. We have a damn nice situation here, whereas before we had a nightmare. So all of it is, we're learning from all of it. You guys came here, and you did good. I'm leaving tomorrow, so you got another week or so. Try to get somebody to show you the Haiti video.
Mike is leaving tomorrow, so he don't quit.
So, question. Check in with Tiffany tomorrow.
You're gonna go around set up,
She got you set up a meeting.
I got a question. I was asked breathing, what would the humidity? Because I realized that when you're in the Euro Phoenix Center,
In Phoenix?
Really
Y'all got to
humid.
go to the Phoenix?
Yeah, it's really humid, and I think mold.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The Phoenix is an Amazon jungle. An Amazon jungle is damp. We want that. And yeah, we buffer away to get it drier and drier, and we're still playing with how to get it drier and drier. But see, the thing is, go to the Amazon. It's damp. There's mold growing on the south side of trees. There's, we're creating an Amazon. Then we're trying to control it. Now, if you're in New Jersey, in a leaky house, and you've got New Jersey mold in a leaky house, that's different than the mold that you see in an Amazon jungle. So people are scared of mold, but at the same time, it happens in nature. So we're creating situations where it's not exact nature in like New Jersey with a leaky wet house or whatever. That's not healthy. But everything in that Amazon jungle at the Phoenix is, yeah, it's moist. If you're in an arid desert here, and you're getting to walk into an Amazon jungle, and it's wet. And what I'm saying, I get people that say, well, there's crickets in there. There's frogs, and people do not want to be with that shit. They want to be separated from it. Well, I'm saying, okay, get a mobile home. But the thing is, we're going on a lot of different levels at once. Just like we're going the simple survival route, but at the same time, we're building the global model Earthship that we're going to sell, to some people in the real developed world, and they're going to pay us money, and we're going to be able to keep going. We're not going to sell the simple survival, because I don't know if anybody wants it, but it is the way and the truth and the light but nobody wants it. I'll tell you right now. But they will, in about 6 or 8 years, they'll be thrilled. You know, I mean, like, it's just the direction that things are going. We're trying to have something for now. For something for now is the global model Earthship. You can't argue with it. It works. It's got water, it's got power. It's just, you're sitting there in 15 below weather, watching TV, taking a hot shower. I mean, it's really the shit. The Simple Survival is not as luxurious, but you're still happy and alive. But we're trying to also show that you can capture the earth in a building. And the Phoenix has frogs, it has fish, it has snakes.
Snakes?
Yeah, it has butterflies, but the rats, the mice ate them. It's got parakeets and cockatoos and fish, and it is the globe, and the globe has moisture. Deal with it. And it has crickets. But you'll get people that say, I don't want any part of it. I want to see it or read about it, but I don't, you know. So then they can retreat back into the other part, which has less of all of that. But the Phoenix is an experiment in capturing the Earth phenomena and living with it. And I don't think the Phoenix will ever sell, to tell you the truth. But so we learn from the Phoenix, which is an extreme $1.5 million version, and we learn from the Simple Survival, which is a $15,000 version, and we put that together to make something that we can fit into the real world right now, which is the global model Earthship. But what I'm saying is the real world is changing rapidly, and I don't know how much longer the global model Earthship is going to be the appropriate thing. I think the Simple Survival is going to be the more appropriate thing. And we're getting people interested in it all over the world, but I have to say that half of them say, I love it, I want it, I like the price, I like everything, but can you add a kitchen, and can you add this, and can you add... Well, you're right back to the global model Earthship, folks. You know, and so we have to put out text, and we say, read this text before you go in this direction. And let them read the text and say, okay, I want a global model. You know, it's like, well, so the point I'm making there is that one of the stumbling blocks, one of the barriers between us and how we're going to live on this planet in the future is in everybody's own head. You know, and you guys, you younger people are, you know, loose enough and adventurous enough to know, and intelligent enough to know that things are fucked, but also to look for other directions. Whereas I had a guy in some English town when I was there trying to get something through some council, whatever. An old English guy in his 40s in a suit. And for an English guy to tell me this, I was like blown away. He said, you know, what I think we're going to have to do is wait for everybody over 40 to die. I'm saying, dude, I'm 60. That was 39. But he was right, because a lot of people are just not going to change. But you guys are. You guys are going to change. And coming here and busting your ass in the cold and getting to experience the global and getting to experience a building that if the gas goes down, it's uninhabitable, which is the state of New York right now. If the utilities go down, New York is uninhabitable. So is New Jersey, and that happened. It's making a point. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. I lost you somewhere back at New York, but we're good.
Questions? Any other questions?
How are you able to take your ideas in your head and turn them into an actual action?
Well,
He's going to say here.
well, the thing is, well, we're doing it. You guys did it.
Yeah.
I laid awake at night and said that the hive has got an unsanitary, unlivable situation going on. And I made a plan in my head, schematically, of what we should do. I came here, you guys were here, I got a few people out of the crew that are willing to do anything, and we made something happen. That's all there is. You just make something happen. You don't, in our world, if you don't do it right, you get sued, and believe me, I know that. But the thing is, you have to know that you're going to screw up. You have to know you're not going to get it right, but you have to have faith, you know, like Billy Graham. You have to have faith that you're gonna make it better than it was. And you guys did that. You guys did that. Here.
Immediately, actually. Let's
In
just say
3
that
days.
there were 2 a.m. texts going on.
Nice.
My heart
2
beats
o'clock
for
in
you,
the
too.
morning.
If I'm laying awake at night, you're gonna get a text. Just deal with it. But it is, you know, I think the Nike commercial is really great. Just do it. I mean, you just do it, you're not gonna do it right. I've been doing this for 45 years. I haven't got it right yet. I'm close here and there. But you guys got it right by just coming here, in my opinion, and having this unstructured, chaotic thing unfold in front of you, and still sitting here, not packing up and going home back to wherever and watching TV. You know, you guys, it's impressive, I have to say. I mean, I get people that, you know, in the comfortable times of the year, this is too harsh for them. And you guys, you know, I mean, I'm seeing you guys come to work in the morning when a lot of people can't get their car started. I mean, it's good. It's good. So it's just you want to do it. We want to do it all the time. I mean, we just got this crisis solved. Okay, we're going to Guatemala. We have no idea what we're in for, you know. We got not enough money, not enough time, but a bunch of people. We will make a building, and it will be a habitable building. But, you know, it won't be perfect either. Nothing. We've never done anything perfect. But it's still, and here, I think somebody once said this, not me. An imperfect Earthship is still better than any other damn house out there when the shit hits the fan. So that's pretty much true. And it's just the Earthship concept. I mean, that's what I want people to do, is understand the concepts of these buildings and do whatever version they want. It doesn't have to be an Earthship. It doesn't have to be the way we do it. But still understanding why we're doing what we're doing is important, because that's the direction we need to go in. Questions? Yeah.
So if you were talking about earlier about, you know, retrofitting existing buildings, because obviously you're not going to tear down buildings that are here now. So like, what's the number one thing you would do as far as retrofitting existing buildings for people to live in? Because not everyone, like you said before, is going to be able to afford a mortgage like on a global model. Maybe a Simple Survival, but like, what do you do for existing buildings like right now? Like, what's the number one thing?
That is a very important issue, because no matter how well we get our ships working and how many we build, with 10,000 people, it's not going to make a dent in the number of buildings that are on the planet that are malfunctioning with respect to what we have to do in the future. So retrofit is huge. I used to just kind of stay away from it and build Earthships, but I can't stay away from it because it's more important than building Earthships. Retrofit is. So I'm throwing myself into a situation of having to retrofit. I have to retrofit the building you guys were in. I have to retrofit this building. And it's not easy. I have to retrofit a lot of my own shit because it's worthless, you know. So what I'm saying is not only that, but then when we're taking retrofit situations. We got a job in Arizona right now. I wasn't even interested in this job because it's just so ridiculous. These very wealthy people paid $3 million for this rambling, actually quite beautiful home. And then they want us to retrofit it. And I got a crew there now. Some of you guys could end up being there. We're gonna be retrofitting this building for the next year, if not more.
So what are you doing to retrofit it though?
We start with, well, we have to listen to what the people want. And that's a big thing right there, is like, I'm starting to say, I'm not spending any more than half of my time doing what people want, because they're full of shit. I mean, nothing against them, they just don't know what they're doing. And I don't want to waste my time helping them not know what they're doing. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I know better than that. So I want to spend at least half of our time and energy and money with this company doing what, moving in the direction of what we know will work. Well, retrofit has a client. Clients are a nightmare. And they want what they want. So we're starting with, here it is, I don't know, it's a 7,000 square foot house. The first thing we're doing, we're adding a room. you know, a koi pond, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous, but we're making that koi pond not be hot in the Tucson desert and be ventilated with the tubes and have some fish that they could fish for and eat and whatever. So, but in terms of my ideal of how a retrofit would work is you first get the building comfortable, which means insulate the living shit out of it, build green, I don't care if you have to build a whole greenhouse over the whole building. Do something to capture the space and make it more comfortable. You can't go pounding tires and putting mass into an existing building. It's not possible. You just have to insulate it and try to get some mass. What you have to do is understand the thermal dynamics of mass and insulation, which we have a whole course on in the academy. If you understand that, then you apply it to the best of your ability. And what you have done after doing that is you have cut the heating bill and cooling bill of this building by 60%. Okay, not 100%, 60%. Well, if we cut 60% off of all fuel usage on this whole planet, we wouldn't have any problems. So I'm okay with 60%. If Japan cut all of their fuel usage by 60%, they wouldn't be having to build nuclear power plants, which they're not now, of course. But you first get the building comfortable. You get the space for humans to hang out in comfortable. Then, what's the next thing you need? You need water. How do you get water? You make the building catch water. Water comes from the sky. And you use all these concepts that we've developed and maybe more that other people can develop. But the reason we can make catch water work in an arid, dry climate like this is because, not in this building, but sort of in this building, but in the global model, we catch the water, we take a shower, it goes into the gray water planters and waters plants that produce food. We pick it back up to flush the toilet with, then we take it outside to do landscaping. We use the same water 4 times. So you apply water concepts to conserve and harvest and conserve water. And you can do that on any building. And then you've got to get into, okay, in the winter, how do you collect water out of snow? And that's, come to the academy. Then get electricity. Not rocket science, wind and sun, that's all doable. Contain and treat your own sewage. Do a lot of the things you can out of stuff that's thrown away. I mean, you know, we're using, back when I was your age, I built the building that you guys are living in. You know, it's made out of beer cans. They're great bricks. It's made out of bottles. Some of it's made out of tires. There's nothing that we make, there's nothing on this planet that is not worth reusing. I mean, you get a bird, a bird's got no belief system. Out in the forest, a bird builds its nest with twigs and grass and stuff. In New York City, a bird uses straw, Q-tips, you know, used rubbers, whatever it can find, it makes a nest out of. We should do the same thing. Anything we can find is usable. Nothing should be thrown away. So all of those things make every retrofit project its own piece of sculpture, its own invention. But it is knowing some logical concepts to approach each retrofit project with, and each one is a challenge and adventure, much more than just repeating global model Earthships, which is cake for us. Hell, I can take Phil and Rory and say, go build a global model Earthship, and they'll go do it. We'll sell it and keep going. But we'll do that. Well, let me ask you guys, give me your first hand. I know what you guys went through, you don't have to tell me. What is the Simple Survival like, in truth? Tell me the worst things about it, tell me the best things about it. You're alive, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's survival, simple survival aspect. If somebody is interested in, you know, the city life, they want widescreen TV, there's a huge gap between, you can go a lot further than having to go all the way to the global model to get a lot of those amenities, you know, easily enough. But with that specific unit, things that could be helped is just finish, if that's what you're asking. It's about 60, which, where we're from, I grew up in Florida on the beach surfing and junk, and I'm used to really humid. and 60 degrees is way too cold. But 60 degrees here, as dry and as airtight as that is, it's nothing, you know, long sleeve, I'm fine. I wouldn't mind having a fire, but I'm fine.
So if you had a simple survival with a teeny wood stove that you could burn a few pieces of popsicle sticks in.